Assalamualaikum and greetings. We from Group 1. Before we start our presentation, I want to say thank you to Dr. Azmil bin Abdul Razak to give permission to present our report. So today, our group will present about design a forest restoration project in the Malakot Forest Reserve. So this is our group members. That is me, Muhammad Azisha bin Abdul Razak, Colin Sim, Taufik Hidayat, Nur Eva Shafika, Nur Fitria, Nur Sazana Tira, and Hanis Hanania Nurlaina.
Today I will be discussing the Dramakot Forest Reserve DFR in Central Sabah, Malaysia and the vital restoration effort taking place there. DFR spans 55,507 hectares and is a part of Forest Management Unit 19A. It was established in 1961 as a forest reserve and became a permanent part of Sabah Forest Estate in 1984. Characterized by low hills and undulating terrain with elevation ranging from 200 to 1079 meters above sea level. The forest also features 5 major tributaries of the Kinabatangan River which play an essential role in the region's hydrology. However, the FR faced significant environmental challenge, habitat loss, deforestation and climate change have all contributed to reduced forest cover, soil erosion, and biodiversity loss. These problems jeopardize key ecological functions such as wildlife habitats, water control, and carbon storage. Restoration efforts are essential to counteract these issues with the aim of improving carbon storage, water management, soil stability, and overall biodiversity. Furthermore, climate change has intensified this challenge, making it even more critical to restore the forest resilience by addressing altered rainfall patterns and extreme weather events. Beyond environmental restoration, it is crucial to consider social factors, engaging local and indigenous communities ensure that they benefit from the restoration through employment, sustainable resource use, and education. This integrated approach, which combines ecological restoration with community involvement, will ensure that both the forest and its people thrive, contributing to a sustainable future for all.
This is the goal of the project in Deramakot Forest Reserve (DFR). Implementing forest restoration in Deramakot Forest Reserve (DFR) Telupit by planting various species of tree to enhance carbon sequestration, restore soil quality, and improve biodiversity in degraded forests, while involving the Deramakot community in conservation efforts to reduce the impact of climate change. For our restoration project, we have two main objectives. First, planting various plant species in selected area to enhance carbon sequestration and improve biodiversity. And the second, involving the community in Deramakot Forest, Telupit, in tree planting activities to raise awareness about the importance of carbon sequestration and environmental conservation.
So this is a site assessment. Site assessment is very important to design a forest restoration. Firstly is soil type. In DFR, from big valleys of the Rock River in the northern part and Kinabatangan River in the southern part are made up of alluvial deposits. It's derived from these rocks are infertile with limited stocks of plant available nutrients. Leptosols found on the steep slopes are shallow, limiting root penetration. The most families found in DFR is capillate, paleo, and ditorsals, among the most impoverished in terms of plant availables. This is a topography of site assessment. DFR is located on land with elevations of 200 meters rising to a maximum of the 1079 meters above sea levels ASL. The last part of the area is on elevation ranging from 250 meter to 700 meter ASL. The landforms are mainly undulating 71% of the area with slopes varying from 6 to 24 degrees. The higher elevation and steep slopes exceed 25% which cover 5% of the area. This is a hydrology of site assessment. In DFR, have five main rivers. There are Sungai Lawang Besar which is located to the north, Sungai Tabaring Besar to the east, Sungai Tangkulak Kecil to the west, Sungai Balakong and Sungai Dewara Makot both to the south. All these rivers are flowing or draining south into the Kinabatan River and form part of the Kinabatan drainage system. This is the last part of site assessment, that is assisting ecological communities. There are two assisting ecological communities, that is native species present and non-native species present. First is native species present. There are two. First, native species of trees and tropical forests. Diplocarpus species is the main dominant tree group in the Ramakot Forest Reserve, which accounts for about 40% of large trees in exceed 50 cm dBH. For example, Shorelectoclados, dry banana knobs, lanceolata, and Diplocarpus caudiferus. And native species fauna mostly found in this forest, that is Asian elephant or name scientific Elephas maximus, Tempadau or name scientific Bos javanicus, orangutan or name scientific Pongo pygmaeus, sambar deer or name scientific Cervus unicolor, bearded pig or name scientific Sus barbatus, and Malay sambe or name scientific Haltos malayanus. While non-native species present, they have two. First, non-native tree species, for example, Acacia auriculiformis, a tree that was introduced for land reclamation purpose of as a source of wood, but has now become invasive in some areas. A non-native species fauna mostly found in this Delmarcot Forest Reserve is mongoose, or name scientific Herpestes javanicus, to introduce to control rat populations.
Today I will talk about restoration strategy. Firstly is natural regeneration in Dramakot Forest Reserve employs reduced impact logging to minimize logging impact on site, soil and non-target trees. Selective cutting methods are used to encourage native species regeneration. Remaining trees supply seed for natural tree regeneration. Seed that fall to the ground will germinate and grow in the area. And next is assisted regeneration. Planting native species can act as a seed bank that increase the supply of native species that can help for natural regeneration in degraded land in Dramakot Forest Reserve. Planting native species also reduce soil erosion as the root of the tree bind the soil together and strengthen the soil structure. Planting native species and shrub can also help in increasing soil fertility. Organic matter from decay of the leaf and branch can contribute to nutrient to the soil. Next is agroforestry. Agroforestry also one of the restoration strategy. Combination of native species and agricultural crop can increase soil fertility. Agricultural practice like soil preparation need to be done before plant the seedling. Soil preparation can be done by ploughing to loosening the soil. This is help in proper aeration of the soil. Next is sowing. Sowing can be done manually by hand, and for weeding can be done periodically to reduce the competition between seedling and wheat for essential resource such as water, nutrient, light and space for seedling to grow healthily. And lastly is ecological corridor. Restoration can be done to conserve wildlife habitat. Human activity near the wildlife habitat need to be reduced so that wildlife does not feel threatened. Riparian zone need to be protected because riparian zone provide habitat for many species. Riparian zone also migration route and habitat connector for a diversity of wildlife.
Is implementation plan. There are 3 implementation plan for Dramakot Forest Reserve. It is species selection, planting technique, and monitoring and adaptive management. This one is species selection. The objective is to prioritize native species of ecological adaptation and alignment with forest original composition. The key species is indigenous species such as Euxide, Roxylon zogeri, and Parosaria tomentella. The focus area is degraded areas with site with poor natural regeneration, and the benefit it is enhance forest richness and structural integrity, restore ecological balance and wildlife habitat, and improve forest resilience against environmental stresses. Next is planting technique. The scope is to restore 2,000 hectares over 5 years through intensive planning and execution. Planting technique that use is arrangement planting, that is combined sustainable forestry and manual planting techniques targeting area with sparse tree coverage. It's also use RIL, that is reduce impact logging, to minimize soil erosion and protect existing vegetation during planting. The outcome is to restore area contribute to natural ecological function and enhance timber production while maintaining environmental integrity. One is monitoring and adaptive management. Their framework is to establish an effective long-term monitoring system to ensure the effectiveness of restoration and facilitate adaptive management. The activity is to conduct annual inventory of forest compartment. They targeting 5 compartments per year. Utilize permanent monitoring plot to track biodiversity and assess ecological change over time. And the objective is evaluate the growth, health, and success of restored areas and gather data to inform future management decision and adapt to new challenges.
The Sabah Forestry Department, or we call SFD, is the main organization who take the responsible for manage the forest. So the SFD ensure that legal requirements are met and oversee sustainable development project. Local community are also the vital stakeholder. Their life depend on forest resource. So involving them in a forestry initiative not only help conservation but also boost their socio-economy. Next, NGO like WWF Malaysia and partner of community organisation support this effort by promoting environment, sustainable and community-based project. Other key players include government department like the Wildlife and Drainage and Irrigation Department, which address ecological and resource management issue. Academic institutions contribute valuable research and knowledge to improve forest management technique. In the restoration process, collaboration is crucial. The SFD leads the effort while the FRC provides scientific guide. Local community offer traditional knowledge and NGO ensure that local voice are heard. The Wildlife Department monitor animal habitat and the Drainage Department manage vital water resource. So effective communication among all these stakeholders is essential to resolve conflict and reach agreement. Regular forum and feedback system help everyone share their view and work together. In summary, by fostering cooperation and open dialogue among this diverse group, we can achieve sustainable forest management in the Dramakot Forest Reserve.
Funding and resources. For financial overview, the Ramakot Forest Reserve DFR estimates 86 million ringgit to support sustainable management activities. The plan requires a projected gross revenue of 124 million ringgit over 10 years. It is distributed with forest harvesting 33%, 28.38 million ringgit. The second one is personal salaries and allowance at 30%, 25.8 million ringgit that covers salaries for skilled workers. And other activities, 37% with 31.82 million ringgit. Next, the total cost of management, establishment and operational is 86,027,019 ringgit that includes various activities such as contract fee harvesting, buildings and much more. Moving on to the human resources needed, the total workers in DFR is 87. This includes various roles and workers needed across different categories such as the District Forestry Officer DFO under Forest Management and so on. Next, there are 3 funding sources which is grants, partnerships and community contributions. For grants, Sabah Forestry Department SFD has previously received international support such as from German Agency for Technical Cooperation GTZ and can pursue additional funding through programs like REDD Plus to support activities such as reduced impact logging RIL. Hence, there are organizations like International Tropical Timber Organization ITTO and the Global Environment Facility GEF offer grants for projects related to biodiversity conservation, forest restoration, and sustainable forestry. For partnerships, NGOs such as WWF and the Rainforest Alliance offer funding and technical support. Additionally, partnerships with academic institutions like University Malaysia Sabah provide financial and technical resources like ecological research and monitoring. The last one, community contributions. Forest Management Plan FMP includes socio-economic programs that engage local communities through employment opportunities in activities like boundary clearing, tree planting, and maintenance. These initiatives provide direct economic benefits to nearby villages, including Kampung Balat and Kampung Kuamut.